everyone, and welcome back to another monthly reset video for the month of November. So I can't believe it's November already, and October honestly just flew by. I feel like it was just such a blur of things that happened last month, and honestly achieving some of those goals that I'd set in the previous month became quite difficult for this month. But we are going to go through that today, and I'll be talking you through some of the goals that I had set previously when it was still September and we were going into October. And you might be able to notice one of the whippets has stuck around for this video. So Kaito's gonna stay for this video today, aren't you, mate? So yeah, as I mentioned, October wasn't the easiest month to achieve some of my goals that I'd set for this year, and I do think that every month is going to be tricky. There's always going to be obstacles in terms of actually achieving the goals that you set, and October was really no different for me. I felt like September was a really big challenge because I actually had nearly 2 weeks off during that time, or not 2 weeks off, 2 weeks doing a content trip. So I felt like that was a little bit more difficult to achieve some of the goals that I'd set during that month for September, but I actually didn't have really much time off this month at all, and yet I still struggled, so here we are. But before I get into any more of this video today, if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Kaylee and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia, but I'm also a content creator, and I started this channel a few years ago to talk about all things business, social media, freelancing and content creation. And if you haven't seen any of these videos before, each month I actually sit down and do a monthly reset video. This is for the following month, where I can then set my goals and we can go through some of the goals that I'd set for the previous month and see whether I achieved any of those said goals. And as I mentioned, October was pretty much a mixed bag in terms of what I achieved and what I didn't. I think I did a lot better than September though, which I'm really proud of, but I think there's still a lot that I do need to improve on. If you can see a fly flying around this room, by the way, it's literally been stuck in here for days and it is driving me nuts, but he's really elusive and really hard to get. And yeah, so if you see our little friend flying around the room, just know I've tried to get him outside many times and it's just not worked. So anyway, moving on to the video and the monthly reset. So October as a whole was very mixed for me. There was so many things going on. I really threw myself into work last month, so I feel like I achieved a lot of things work-wise. However, unfortunately, that meant that some of my other goals that I had set for my lifestyle, and particularly some exercise goals, really took a backseat once again. And I really want to stop doing this because I do feel like for a lot of us, we do tend to put these types of goals to the side, that we see them as not as important as, you know, getting our work done and whatever. But I do think that these are the kinds of goals that will make such a long-term difference in our lives. And I really need to get on top of that and really start creating routines that are working for me. I do think that it's okay to give yourself a break though if you don't achieve all of the goals that you want to achieve in a month. And unfortunately, my exercise ones weren't really ones that I did achieve. Like I said, a lot of my work goals I did achieve for October, and I was really proud of that. But at the same time, I want to make differences within my own lifestyle that are essentially going to make me healthier as a person over the long term, both mentally and physically. And I don't want to be constantly focusing on work every single week in every minute of time that I have. In terms of moving into November, I've got a few things that I'm really excited about. I actually have another content trip planned, and that is so exciting. This is a content trip that I believe I spoke about in my last monthly reset, but I actually did a video a couple of months ago where I talked about pitching to several travel brands as a travel content creator and seeing what happened, basically the results from that. And a couple of the results was that I heard back from certain travel brands and they had offered content trips to me. So this was another one of those that had actually gotten back to me after I'd pitched out to this particular travel brand, and I'm so excited because my partner and I now have a content trip lined up for next month, and it's a place that we love visiting and we just can't wait to get there and start photographing and creating some beautiful content. Like, I just really want to be doing that right now. It's nice to get out of the house as well because so much of my time is spent here, so getting out there and really doing those kinds of trips is amazing. And again, if you are a travel content creator, or any content creator for that matter, and you don't have a large follower base like myself, I think it's really important that you do pitch out to brands sooner rather than later. And I speak about this quite a bit on my channel because I think there are so many amazing opportunities that are offered all the time to smaller creators. And sometimes you just kind of need to give it that kickstart to make those sorts of things happen. I'm the perfect example in this situation. I do not have a lot of followers over on my Kaylee Journeys Instagram account, for example, or my travel vlogging account with my partner. We we don't have a lot of followers. We've got about 2,000, and I feel like some of the opportunities we've already had have been amazing. So definitely get onto that if you are feeling kind of not confident about pitching out to brands. You don't have to feel that way because micro-influencing is just huge these days, and brands really recognize smaller creators a lot these days too. So really get onto that and give it a go. But now I'm going to get into the goal and habit tracker, which I usually use for a lot of my planning for my goals, setting my goals and trying to achieve them. I use this spreadsheet all the time, and I've spoken about this before in my previous monthly resets, but if you haven't seen those, there is a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link with CoPlenty, the brand who actually create these templates. So they've got a heap of budget templates over there as well, which I have shown on my channel before, and if you're interested in those, definitely go and check them out. The link is in the description box below. But now we're gonna get stuck into seeing which goals I actually achieved for the month of October and which ones I didn't. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're now in the goal and habit tracker for the month of October, and this is where we're going to be going through some of the goals that I set for the previous month and then be setting some new goals for November. So I always love to set my goals in a monthly reset video because I feel like it's just the perfect opportunity at the end of every month or beginning of every month to just have that reset, to just have that time to reassess some of your goals and actually feel like you're reflecting on things and how the month went. So looking at a couple of the goals that I set for last month in terms of just like health and wellness, and a couple of the main daily habits that I actually set for myself was drinking 2 liters of water and doing 10,000 steps a day. Now I actually set some goals the month before this where I was a lot more specific with my exercise each week, and I just felt that that wasn't working out for me. So I actually changed my exercise goal to 10,000 steps a day, but I also think that this isn't maybe the right way to go either. I actually changed my exercise goals in the previous monthly reset originally halfway through the month or something, and I changed it to 30 minutes of exercise a day, and I actually think that that's a better way to go for me because 10,000 steps as well is tricky, and you're not always going to get that 10,000 steps recorded, you know, if you're at the gym specifically, you know, doing workouts on certain machines or exerting yourself in other ways. So 10,000 steps a day when you're working from home is quite tricky, but I think maybe starting with 30 minutes a day for the next month might be the way to go. But we'll get into that in a second. Let's see how I went for the month of October. So you can see here drinking 2 liters of water. Again, was just seemingly so hard. I don't know why it's so hard to drink 2 liters of water in a day. I would say that I do have a lot of like cups of tea and then coffee, and I think that I still have like a lot of liquids. I think it's just reaching for water in between is something that I just need to keep doing. And you can see here that there weren't too many days in the month where I actually hit that target. I think my percentage for that goal was 19%, which is crazy. That's not very good. So I feel like we can maybe change that up for next month. And I really need to just like, God, just get better at doing it. Maybe even just like drinking an extra liter of water. Maybe that's the goal that I should set myself for next month. We'll make it a little bit easier and then do baby steps. Just get in the habit of having the water first and then work on getting to 2 liters a day. Even though I know that I think there's some like misinformation about this and you don't really have to drink 2 liters a day. And there's like stuff involved with that where a lot of health professionals are like, actually you do get a lot of hydration from other elements of things that you're either eating or drinking throughout the day. So 2 liters is maybe not something that I should necessarily aim for, and I will change that up for next month. 10,000 steps a day. Look, I think I did pretty well last month considering I was working from home like every day for the most part. I didn't have a lot of time outside of the home doing other things other than work. So looking at what I actually did for October, 52%. So I got kind of halfway there with the 10,000 steps, but I think it's still difficult to do. And if I don't have many photo shoots, especially in any given month, which most of my month was spent doing editing last month, I had a lot of photos to edit from shoots that I'd done August and September. So that was mainly my month, was just editing and what I'll be talking to you about next, which is to do with YouTube. But yeah, 52%, I mean, 16 days out of 31, it's not bad, but it could be better. But you know, I'm proud that I at least got halfway there because I think I did better than the previous month, which is good. So you can see here at the top that 22 out of 62 daily habits were completed. So I essentially got like a third of the way there. So, I mean, I feel semi-proud for that. It was definitely better than the previous month. That's all I can say. My weekly goals is what I'll be going into next, and my monthly goals. So let's actually go down to my weekly goals here. And the weekly goals I'm actually quite proud of because most of these were business related goals, and I feel like for the most part I achieved quite a number of them. So first off, one of the goals that I actually wanted to achieve for October was filming an extra video for this channel each week. So that was something that I wanted to build up slowly. So by the end of the month, I would have about 4 videos in reserve. So I actually did a little bit more than this. I actually started the month of October by filming an extra 2 videos in the first week. And then I was like, you know what, maybe I could just do this every week and do 2 videos instead of 1 and just keep it going. So then I actually have like 4 weeks of content ahead by the end of the month, because I post 2 times a week to YouTube. So filming 2 extra videos a week for 4 weeks would mean that I'd have a whole extra 8 videos in reserve, which would be a whole month's worth of YouTube content. So I ended up doing this every week, which was great. And I actually did it for a 5th week too, because October was kind of a funny month where it had nearly 5 weeks kind of thing, or 4.5 weeks. So I actually did an extra 2 videos in the last week. And that actually means when I go on my content trip in November, I actually don't have to worry about pre-filming any videos for that because they're already done. So that was great. I did an extra 10 videos in total for the month. So I think all up, the amount of videos I would have filmed in October would have been 18, which is quite a lot. Yeah, wow. I'm pretty proud of achieving that because I don't think I've ever gotten this far ahead with my content, but I was so determined after that first week. I just felt like I really wanted to get ahead. You never know what's going to happen in any given week, and one thing can throw you off and your schedule's just ruined. So I really just wanted to get ahead of that and feel like I was on top of things. And now I finally do feel a little bit more on top of this YouTube channel. And that means I can then focus on other things like my Instagram account and, you know, other accounts that I have, because I obviously have 3 different brands on YouTube. So it's really about going and feeding into those accounts too now and giving them some love and care. But I am really happy that I did achieve that goal. Now, my other goals were to post 2 videos to this channel a week, and that was something that I did. I have been doing that for about a year now, and I am still continuing on that trend, so that's great. My next goal was to post 1 Wonder Walkers video a fortnight, which is the travel channel that I have with my partner, and I did that as well. So I posted 1 per fortnight. That's my current schedule with that channel, and the same goes for my photography channel. I actually post 1 video a fortnight to that as well, and that was also met. So really happy that all my YouTube goals were pretty much met. Now, unfortunately for October, I did not get to pitch as much as I would have liked to. I only pitched to 1 brand at the beginning of the month, and that was more of a renegotiating pitch with a brand to see whether they'd be interested in continuing on with a particular brand deal or brand partnership, and that was about it for the month. Unfortunately, I didn't get to pitch really at all, and maybe that's something that I can change for next month, hopefully, but I probably wouldn't put too much expectation on myself for next month, because I know what September was like with that content trip that I had then, and now having another content trip for November, I know that's going to be a week and a half out of my month, and that's going to make things a little bit more tricky to get on top of with having so many goals. So I will be a little bit kinder to myself, I think, in November. And then my last weekly goal was to post 3 reels and then post to Instagram just a regular post. So this was for each week, and sadly, I did not get that goal. I'm lucky if I posted once a week to Instagram this month. It was actually quite a sad month in terms of my Instagram content. I managed to post a little bit from the content trip that I had done in September, but I think this month ended up being a month to really focus on YouTube. This was what that month was for, and I did that, and I'm so glad I did, because now I can put my time and efforts into Instagram a bit more and other channels as well. So that's the main thing. I got on top of that, and next month hopefully we'll have better luck with the Instagram content. So you can see for my percentages of each week, my first week was at 83% goals completed, which was great, and then the next few weeks kind of hovered at around 50 to 60%. So, you know, not the best, but at the same time I'm so proud of what I did for YouTube, because as I said, I've never really done that much content ahead in advance, and so much of it on such a heavy kind of schedule that I'm on now. So I feel like that will allow me to have a little bit of a breather for the coming months. And essentially as well now, if I keep filming 2 videos a week, which is what I was doing beforehand, I can basically have that 10 video reserve consistently and indefinitely. So I'm really happy with that. Now moving on to the monthly goals. So I wanted to contact my friends more regularly in the month of October, and I did that. I was able to catch up with quite a few of my friends in October, which was really lovely. And I just want to make sure that I'm continuously doing that sort of thing, because I think it's too easy to get focused or too focused with work all the time, and you need to have that work-life balance. So that was one of the personal goals I had for October. My wellness goals I did not achieve. So meditation, yoga, gym, I don't know. I think I was just so set on work last month that sort of thing just took a total backseat. I actually had a few appointments and things that I had to attend to as well in the month of October, which didn't allow me to do as much exercise as I would have liked, but that's okay. I am giving myself the breather for October on that, and I know that hopefully in the coming months with the warmer weather coming through, it will be a lot easier for me to really get out there and do some more exercise like that. And then my financial goal was to save another $500 for my trips account, which I did in the month of September, and that was achieved as well. So I was really happy to save that extra $500. It's always good saving anything at the moment because cost of living. But yeah, I really wanted to save some more money for my trips account, and that was the main thing. So in terms of the monthly reflection, my biggest achievements this month was definitely getting on top of YouTube content and then also sticking to my YouTube schedules, which I did. My challenges that I faced this month was a little bit of burnout because I felt I was focusing so much on my work that I wasn't making enough time for those other little things. Like, it was great that I got to spend a bit more time with friends and some family, but at the same time, I just felt like I was really burning out on some days. There were some days where I was working way too late, like sometimes till like 10 p.m. at night, and I just don't want to be doing that forever. I've done so many years of doing that already, and I want to make sure that I have that proper work-life balance. So I would say burnout was the main thing, and I guess maybe a little bit of motivation to actually get out there and do some exercise. Improvements, what I can improve for next month, being a little bit more kinder to myself. Because I feel sometimes when I don't actually achieve those goals, I tend to be quite hard on myself. And I think one thing I need to be doing as well is just being that bit more kinder, especially if I've gone out of my way to really emphasize other goals and really go beyond on what I'd set myself. Yeah, okay, maybe I didn't hit those other goals that I'd set myself, but I really went above and beyond on the other ones. So I think that I should be proud of that at least. In terms of more improvements, I think just not setting unachievable goals. I feel that some of the goals, especially the exercise ones that I've been setting myself and the meditation ones and everything, and going so hard with that has been a little bit unachievable at times. So I think really just honing in on some of those goals and cutting a few of them, just starting a bit slower, I think. And key takeaways this month, I think, would be to start a little bit slower with some of my goals. And then I guess remembering bite-sized is good, because if you're constantly doing bite-sized tasks towards your bigger goals, that's really going to help you out in the end, and it's going to not make everything feel so overwhelming. That's what I actually did with doing the extra 2 videos a week, even though it was quite a lot more work. It's better than filming all of it at once, for example. So I think that remembering that bite-sized is good and that we can build things up as we go along. So overall, I think for my goals in October, I completed 42%. So we nearly got halfway. Like I said, better than September. So let's move on to November now. So, okay, first things first, daily habits. I think my first goal is going to be getting 30 minutes of exercise. And then I'm going to make sure that the next goal with drinking extra water is going to be an extra 1 liter. So drinking an extra 1 liter of water. So I think that those goals are a little bit more suited to where I'm at the moment, just building up the water each day, not feeling like I have to aim for 2, just aim for 1, we'll start a bit smaller. Getting 30 minutes of exercise is another good one, I think, because I really was sticking to that in the previous month when I reassessed my goals halfway through, and I knew that I wasn't going to achieve the meditation every day or the yoga every day. I actually just moved it to 30 minutes of exercise and doing whatever I could in that time frame, and I felt that worked for me. So we'll stick with that for this month and see how that goes. So my weekly goals. Now I don't need to do as many YouTube videos, thank God. So I'm actually really happy about that. But one thing I might actually consider doing is actually filming a couple of extra videos for my photography channel, because I actually don't have a backlog for that at the moment. So maybe that is something that I can focus on for next month. It doesn't have to be too intense though, because I only post once a fortnight at the moment to that channel. So just even a couple of extra videos in the whole month might be a good way to go for that channel. So I'm going to say posting 2 times a week to this channel, which is Kaylee June Creative, and we'll just copy and paste that into each week. I really want to continue sticking to my YouTube schedule at the moment. So we'll post once a fortnight to my photography channel, and we'll copy and paste that into week 1 and week 3, so once a fortnight. And same thing with my Wonder Walkers travel channel. With my husband, we will do once a fortnight to Wonder Walkers. So I'm just going to post that in week 1 and week 3 again. So yeah, maybe in week 2 and week 4, I will just say to film an extra video for my photography channel. So maybe film 1 extra video for Kaylee June. We'll copy and paste that. And then I really want to post 3 times a week to Instagram. So we're gonna make that the goal this month, not 4 posts. We'll just go 3, and it can be anything, reels, photos, anything. I just wanna get in the habit of posting there again very consistently. And pitching, I might just put that in for once a fortnight at this point. I might just put pitch to 1 brand, and we'll put that in week 2 and week 4. So I think that that is a good list of goals, just sticking to my YouTube schedule, making sure I create an extra few videos for my photography channel, and also making sure that I am posting finally to Instagram a little bit more consistently, because that's the thing I'll need to focus on this month, I think, is really getting back into the habit of posting and planning through there. I really love using Metrical to plan all my Instagram posts. So when I get a chance to do that for probably about a fortnight at a time, I definitely try and take that chance because it makes things so much easier. But I think that that's all the weekly goals I'm going to be setting myself at the moment. Again, I do have that content trip, which is going to throw out some scheduling and all the rest of it next month. So I'm just thinking it might be best for me to not go too overboard with some of my goals. My exercise, I would like to keep to 30 minutes a day for next month. But in terms of going to the gym 3 times a week, I don't even think I'll be able to do that next month with that content trip. I mean, I could go around the content trip, but I just know myself and I know that getting in those habits are difficult as it is. But moving on to the monthly goals, we might put some more wellness goals in, but personal goals would be to actually finish work on time. I know that sounds like a work-related goal, but for me, it feels like a personal goal. Like I just want to have that time back, especially in the evenings where I can relax. So finishing work on time, and then I'm just going to put in capitals, relax. So finishing at a certain time and then going to relax, not talking about work, not thinking about work afterwards, just relaxing. Wellness goals, I might try and just feed a couple of little goals in under here. So I might put in here walking each week. And yeah, I could put that in the weekly goals, but I like to kind of separate some of these. And I think just walking each week, whatever that is, if that's just walking around the block or taking the dogs for a walk or whatever, I'm just going to put a really vague goal in there. And I think that's one that I can achieve for next month. And maybe the meditation once a week. Once a week I should be able to do. So we'll do that. Financial goals, I'm going to keep in that save another 500. I think it's going to be a bit trickier this month to do it. It's just getting in the lead up to Christmas, and we all know that it's so expensive around that time of year, but I want to save another 500 for our trips account. And then career goals, I think for November, honestly, I think this is going to be more than enough for me in terms of setting goals. Career goals, I don't really have any specifically in mind at the moment. I mean, I've definitely got a lot of ideas, but I think we'll just kind of work our way up there slowly. And I think November's just not going to be that month to set too many big career goals because I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time. So that is pretty much all my goals for the month of November, and hopefully I can stick to some of those. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this video today, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more in future. Let me know down in the comment section below what you're doing for your monthly reset in November and what some of your goals are. If you've got any specific goals for content creation or for your work, or if it's surrounding your work-life balance, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, make sure to hit the notification bell if you want to see any updates from my channel. But thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.